Hello everyone. So today I'll create a video about um, about Kerberos installation and configuration on an Ansible node, so that we can afterwards work with or configure Windows machines. So there are two very good articles that I also followed on the Ansible page. Right. Okay, so the first one is this one. So you have to check your Windows machines. They need to have a minimum of PowerShell 5.1, and the net framework should be at least 4.6. You have here all the information you need to how to update that and everything else. And yeah, I recommend you to read this article. And on the second article, we have here a little bit of information about Windows Remote Management, so WinRM. By default, on Windows Server VMs like 2019 or 2022, this is already enabled, and the Kerberos authentication is also enabled. And today we will configure, or at least I will show you how I configured my Ansible node so that we can manage, as I said, Windows VMs from or with the Ansible node. So please also read this this article. This is very very important for you to read first before you start anything. It's very well structured. So I've also installed the WinRM module, or how can I call it. So I've used all the commands that were necessary. And here is a very important information. So the WinRM has multiple communication methods. So we have here the basic, the certificate, Kerberos, NTLM, and CRED SPP. Because we have an environment where we want to use Active Directory and we do not want to use local accounts, those two are off the table because they will only work with local accounts on each VM. And nevertheless, the Kerberos is the recommended one. So this is also the one that the security guys will like. So this is why I've configured my Ansible node and the Windows VMs. We will configure them with Kerberos, so that the Kerberos WinRM Kerberos communication will work. Here you have all the information that you need for each variant. Let's go to Kerberos. So so this is very very good article. So here we are talking about the inventory file. So I've configured my inventory file with just those 3 lines here. So this is HTTP communication, and HTTPS is, from what I remember, 8.6. Nevertheless, I've configured it with HTTP because this is also the default on Windows Server. Okay, so let's go a little bit on Ansible. Let me show you the host ini. So it's like usual, we have our groups and the VMs in the groups, and the additional configuration is this one. So we have to write the variables so that Ansible will know that with those machines it needs to communicate through WinRM. So as in the article, the same port, and the authentication is Kerberos. So let's go back to our article. I've also followed the installation steps as in this article. I have CentOS, and I used this this to install the Kerberos libraries, and I also use this command here. And after that, I had to configure the Kerberos. I had to write something in the configuration file of the Kerberos, and I can also show. So those are very good examples. Only those things I've touched, and I didn't have any issues. Let's go on my Ansible node, and we should go with nano, and it's something with krb from krb5.conf. So this is the default configuration file, so I did not touch anything. So this is the default domain, but it's commented out, so it's not working. And here are the configurations that I made. I left the example in there in case I need it, and I've configured this. So here you actually configure your domain controllers so that the Kerberos can request the tickets. And in this one, you can write your domains. From what I have read in the article, you can communicate to multiple domains, but for me, and I believe in some cases you will have only one, or in most of the cases you will only have to work in one domain. Nevertheless, it accepts multi-domains. So, but that I cannot configure because I only have one domain. So this is everything I've done, nothing else. No additional configuration. And let's exit this one. Of course, you need to have, or it's recommended that you have your Ansible node joined to the domain. So you can verify that, or at least this is how it should be. So this is your domain. I mean my domain, because my VM is domain joined, and yeah, you also can see here that the authentication is through Kerberos. After you install and configure that and write those configurations in that file, you can test your configuration. You will need an user account from a domain account. Let me first clear my so I just cleared my my Kerberos token, and now we will list, so make sure that we don't have any tokens. Okay, so we can request one by using this command. Those commands are also here in the so this one I will use now in the article. So as I told you, please read the article, it's very useful. What is it? It's okay. And my user is at testlab.com, and now it needs the password. Okay, it seems that we have a little issue. Did I write the command correctly? I believe so. Yeah. Okay. And the user is at least test. Okay, it seems that I have an issue. Let me check. Okay, so I remember that that command is for manual. It's also written here. It's for manual management of the Kerberos ticket, but we do not want to do that. We will just request one. Let's go back to and do it with the -c, and now just type the same thing but with the -c, test.com. Okay, and now it's asking us for the password. Okay, now it worked, and we can list to see the ticket, and we requested it now at 11:25, and it will expire this evening at 21:25. So what this means, until I have this this ticket, I can execute any command, any Ansible playbook that will control Windows VMs in my environment without the need of typing any additional username and passwords. So it will take this this command, and we will also check it right away, or we can check it now because my VMs are not yet enabled for WinRM. And let's see just a quick test. Let's try a ping Ansible Win 10 and minus module, and the module is Windows ping -e, and you have to mention the hosts file, the inventory file. Okay, let's see. Did I forget something? No. So Ansible Windows minus module, Windows ping minus a hostname. Oh, yeah, I'm not in the directory. Sorry about that. So let's switch to okay, and now let's do the same thing one more time. I was not in the directory, and I do not have a global inventory file configured, so all my inventory files are configured in each folder or directory. As you can see it, I have the Ansible config and hosting, and this is why it did not work, because it didn't know that that entry from the inventory. Now we should it should work. We should see an error because it cannot communicate at this moment with the VMs. I'm trying to control or to configure Windows 10 VMs, and by default they do not have the WinRM configured. We should have an error here. Yeah, unreachable. But if, for example, we add a VM that I know that has this, and it's, let's say, for example, my domain controller, or this one, the share. If we add that, let's see also AD01, because they are enabled by default, and we execute the same command. Oh, let's save the inventory because it will not. Okay, now let's try the same thing one more time. Okay, so share 01 and AD, because they are by default configured with WinRM and Kerberos authentication, they respond to the ping, and this is, as you know, it's not just a simple ping, so it's do not compare it with the normal ICMP command, the normal ping. This is not a normal ping. This is actually an authentication ping. So the pong comes back from the Active Directory, from the VM. So this is the way you can test that authentication, and also the server is up. Okay, so we can see that those two are unreachable. Let's remove the servers from the inventory file, and now let's go to the VMs, the Windows 10 VMs. The only thing that I will configure is the WinRM. And that is configured with WinRM quick config and the -q. So WinRM quick config -q. It will start the service. It will create the firewall rules. So everything you need. You can also check that this was successful with another command that is in the first article. Let's see it. I forgot it, but we have it written here very nice. So these are the listeners. Okay, let's use this one. Okay. Where is it? So this shows you that WinRM is listening on port on HTTP, and on that port 5985. It's enabled, and we can also check one more thing. That is the Kerberos. Where is it? That other command. I do not remember them. It should be some, in our services. This one, I believe. Let me see. So, true basic false. Okay, yeah. So there is another one, but this is more complex. It shows the more information. But what we want to see here is the authentication, and we can see that the basic is false. We only have Kerberos, negotiate is true, certificate is false, and cred SPP is false, and the hardening level is relaxed. This is the same if I go on an Windows server. So this is a Windows 22 server OS PowerShell, and here I did not activate anything. And let's see the same command, and I believe we have the same configuration. So basic false, Kerberos true, negotiate true, certificate false, and cred SPP false. So this is why I also went with this option, because it mimics the Windows the Windows server. Okay, so we enabled it for this one. Let's also enable it for the second one, because we have two. We will use the same command. Let's PowerShell run as administrator every time, and we also enabled it on this VM. Now we can directly check if the Kerberos authentication works. The Kerberos authentication, the ping works. It should. Yeah. So we have success for both VMs. So from this point on, we can start creating our Ansible playbooks to manage Windows machines. I will create a video because I already prepared something, and I will create an Ansible playbook that will do an unattended install of the VDA agent on those two VMs. Okay, thank you for watching. This was just the Kerberos configuration part, and we need this to be able to configure Windows VMs in our environment. Okay, thank you for watching one more time.